I'm about to enter one of the world's strangest places, a country that doesn't exist.
Honestly, you could probably find bodies, you could probably find ammunition.
This is Transnistria, and you've never heard of it before because it cannot be found on any map. Transnistria has its own government, currency, passport, and even their own military. On the surface, it might seem like any other country, but inside these mysterious borders, citizens wave flags from their communist past, and strict military checkpoints can be found all over. So what is it really like to live in a country that the rest of the world thinks is fake? And who exactly are the people who call this place home?
Будьте здоровы!
Come with me as I explore Transnistria, where less than 500 tourists visit a year. Getting to Transnistria isn't so easy. First, we have to fly to Moldova, Europe's poorest and least visited country. So I'm traveling with my wife Diana and her mom Sheila, and her mom does not know where we're going. We're literally at the airport. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
And she's the kind of type that just goes with the flow, and I know she's gonna have a good time, but she literally doesn't know where we're about to board the flight to. Where do you think we're going?
Vatican.
As soon as we arrive, I start to take in the unusual vibe of the capital city. It's a beautiful morning in Chisinau, Moldova. I'm heading out to meet my guide, Tim, who's actually an American guy that's been living in Transnistria for 17 years. And together, we're gonna be heading in to learn all about this strange place. Traveling from Moldova into Transnistria is no joke. This isn't your typical border crossing. One wrong move and things could get messy. Checkpoint, checkpoint. Can I shoot now? Of course. But just like that, we're in, and I'm starting to notice small differences between this land and where we just came from. It's just fun to look out the window here. You just see shit that you don't usually see.
The infrastructure from the Soviet Union's there, they didn't do anything with it, and if somebody's not taking care of it, it's collapsing.
Driving on these roads feels like taking a time machine back to the Soviet Union, before it dissolved into the modern Russia we know today. Here, the shadow of war never fully faded, especially underground.
Here we have a whole network of caves that goes on for 130 kilometers, just non-stop. It's not even mapped, by the way. We've had cavers come here from Australia. They got lost.
130 kilometers, that's like 60, 70 miles or something.
Yeah. You can see the old marks on the walls. This is from the mining blocks that built the city of Odessa. There's such this network, it's built so deep underground that during World War II it was great bunkers, and then again with the civil war with Moldova between Penistrova and Moldova, it was also used for bunkers.
How deep have you been to this?
We don't go too deep because you get back too far, it's pitch black. Honestly, you could probably find bodies, you could probably find ammunition, you could probably find, there might be an old tank back there 100 kilometers back, who knows.
It's so bizarre to see things like this here, like just existing and there's nobody around. It honestly makes me want to walk through it and see how far I can go. So this one has a star.
This was carved by Soviet soldiers in World War II, and this is the Soviet star. That's not the original paint. There's some bikers from Tiraspol that come out here and paint it every year. But inside this particular cave, we brought you here because the names of the World War II soldiers are carved on the wall along with the date.
This is a good hangout spot for kids.
There's seashells.
This actually have million years, and it's
Holy crap.
part of Sarmat Sea.
Yeah.
Way back, for sure there were lights.
It's cold in here.
These old rusted things, these carried electricity, communications cables, even water, going all the way back. So the soldiers who were carrying ammunition and had jeeps and tanks had electricity, water, communications.
This is so freaky, man. We've only stepped just inside. Was there a lot of like combat here in World War II?
Oh yeah,
this
was
place?
the front lines of what they called the Chisinau-Yash offensive, and is the biggest battle after Stalingrad. But,
Oh crap.
but in Western schools, you don't really learn about it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Before we explore any further, let's get our facts straight. What is Transnistria, and why is it considered a fake country? During World War II, the area became a battleground under Nazi occupation, where thousands of Jews and Romani people were killed in concentration camps. Then, when the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Moldova became its own independent country, but Transnistria, home to many Russian speakers, wanted no part of it. They declared independence, although no one, not even Russia, recognized them as a sovereign nation. About a year later, things escalated into a brutal war between Moldova and Transnistrian forces, backed by Russian troops. The conflict ended with a ceasefire, but Russian soldiers have remained here ever since. We've made it somewhere on the outskirts of Tiraspol to a guy's house, actually Tim's friend. He's got a collection of weapons, we've been told. Dude, these buildings to me are so bizarre. It looks like they just stick it with like gum in the middle.
Yeah.
Whatever material that is. Throw it together and like there it is. Very cool. Sounds very, very communist. Hearing this old record play communist songs from Soviet times sends shivers down my spine. But nothing compares to the guns he's about to show me.
Wow.
Whoa, it's a rifle.
Yeah.
He found this in Kitskan in this village where is a monastery. Yeah.
You found it there? Doesn't work.
No, it's not illegal if we work.
Whoa.
That's of course.
It can be.
Whoa. Yeah, so you can, instead of...
Multiple ways to die.
Wow, that is...
Dana, please don't do that.
Say, I'm.
Do you put close to your body when you shoot? Because the... Like,
You want to put it on your shoulder?
under my shoulder?
No, like him.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so your shoulder takes the reverb of a shot.
Ah, okay.
It's pretty heavy. It's like 20 pounds.
Another one is.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Do you think people died with that sword?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure they did. It wouldn't take much to die with.
You look cute with that helmet on. There's a swastika on the side of it.
Oh,
Let me see.
really?
This is actually an MG-34 machine
Dude.
gun from the Germans in World War II. It's heavy. Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator would take this.
Dude, that's crazy.
Socialist Romania and Socialist Bulgaria. 1716, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a beautiful handle.
Yeah, this is over 100 years old.
And we have old Soviet uniforms too.
Socialist Yugoslavia, 17, 18 years.
What is this one?
Yugoslavia.
Oh, Captain of Yugoslavia?
That could actually be a fashionist.
Yeah, really good. I swear, this room packed with all these collectibles holds so much value. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. Our journey continues to explore some monuments in this unrecognized country. Online it says there's like 500,000 people in Transnistria, but it's like,
No.
it's not true. They're all left.
No, it's not that they all left. The families are still here, but usually at least one person from each family
Got it.
works outside of Transnistria.
So what is the population?
I would say about 300,000.
300,000?
This is a World War II memorial, and what you'll find interesting about all the villages here is this was the front lines of the Chisinau-Iași offensive, and all these names are people who died in World War II from this village. Interesting statue because he's holding a Pepeshar machine gun, which is the machine gun that was held up over the Reichstag in Germany at the end of World War II. Not only is there a World War II monument here, but there is a monument to the Civil War with Moldova because there was a missile strike here, and this missile unfortunately killed all these kids. You can see they're no older than 18 or 19. This is a manager of the old Soviet theater, and he's going to take us in.
Oh, cool. We've got a lot of keys there. Okay. Whoa, this is cool, man.
Welcome to Soviet Union in 1950.
We just entered into a Soviet theater that's literally been untouched for decades, and this is exactly how it was during Soviet times. You can even see the smell in here. It smells like the Soviet Union, the speakers, the chairs, the ceilings. In here is an old film movie room where nothing has changed since 1940. Whoa.
So yeah, you can see it's inside. They have these posters of Soviet movies, old machines.
Whoa.
They have the old real movies here from the Soviet Union. Exactly, nothing's changed. It's all here in good condition. Yeah, it should be in a museum.
These are super valuable to someone. Very rarely have I been to a place that's completely frozen in time. It's really the only place left in the world that you really feel like you're in the Soviet Union when you're traveling here. Because all the other former Soviet countries like Uzbekistan, Armenia, Georgia, they've moved on. They've developed a lot and they've become a lot more modern and different with new governments and new systems in place. But here in Transnistria, it's literally like you're in the Soviet Union. As a traveler, that's cool. As someone who's interested in history and how the world works and the influence that the Soviet Union had on the world, it's fascinating. So this bank here, you only have a local card.
Yeah, and it's not on the Swift code system, so you can't use it anywhere outside of Transnistria.
So ethnically, they're a mix of Moldovians, Ukrainians, Romanians, and Russians.
If you have the family heritage, you are eligible for all these passports.
Oh, wow.
Some people, I know people who have 5 passports.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to an old Soviet buffet, and it's just as it was in the Soviet Union. Grandmothers make all the food, they put it out in buffet style, and you just take what you want, and it's very cheap and healthy.
Perfect.
Are you hungry?
Yes. Vamos.
Gusto na ikaw?
Opo. Tasty.
Oh my God, see, this is all local people.
This is so wild. I actually met tourists here. They're from Latvia. You guys enjoying?
Yeah, we are enjoying this because this is actually part of our past. We lived this, but now we are happy that we are out of this and part of the Western world. Thank God.
Going through the buffet here, which feels like Russian grandma serving me food.
Thank you. It's $3 a meal, including the water.
Now this is a meal. We got borscht soup with sour cream, chicken, cabbage, eggplant. Sarap.
Yummy, yummy.
In the light bulb here, they have the mascot from the 1980 Olympics, which was in Russia. What do you think about the cafe?
So
Check out how crazy the money works in Transnistria. So these are the bills. They're actually the smallest bills in the world. They're tiny. I have small hands. There's denominations of 25 rubles. Yes, they're called rubles like Russian rubles, but they're completely worthless outside of Transnistria. And then you have these plastic coins. Literally, it's the only place in the world where you can find plastic coins. Here's 1 ruble, it's a circle. This is 3 rubles, it's a square. So I guess if you're blind, you can feel the edges of it and realize the denomination. But yes, they are completely plastic. So freaking weird. Like much of the region, Transnistrian people follow Eastern Orthodox Christianity, which means Deanna and her mother have to cover up now that we're about to visit a church. Wow, these are beautiful churches here. Incredible.
This was originally a mosque because the Ottoman Empire controlled this region,
Oh.
and Katerina the Great sent her army from Russia to take over this area, and they did, and now it's a Russian Orthodox church.
I've been in so many churches in my life, especially all over Eastern Europe. This one's so different. It's the way everything just feels like it's very raw and natural, and you got Jesus lit up here in the sunlight. And in this box, which is from Jerusalem, they believe that this is the original cross that Jesus died on.
And something you'll notice that tells you about how open and free the culture is here. If this was a Gothic church in Germany, there would be security everywhere, and this would be in a box with cameras on it. There's no security here.
Yeah, nothing. No one's gonna take it either.
No one's gonna take it.
It's really rustic and colorful in here. So cool. Maganda. This is actually the largest monastery in all of Moldova, considering that internationally we are considered to be in Moldova right now. It's so cool and reassuring to just know that life is normal here and beautiful. And we see things like this. It's really amazing.
So this is very interesting here in Transnistria because this is the largest hammer and sickle left in the entire region. This is the entry to the old Soviet factory region. There was lots of factories that shipped goods back to Moscow.
And what does the symbol mean?
The symbol of the Workers' Party,
Right.
communism.
Right. Hold on.
All right.
Tiana's
we met
making
some
friends.
school kids. Good.
Привет, как дела? What's your name?
What's your name?
My name is Rachel. Ilya.
Rachel?
Dia and
Dasha.
Dasha. Oh,
How's life? Life is good? Yes?
How's the weather?
very nice. Are you finished school?
Okay. Bye-bye, Paka.
Bye.
Can you try it Russian kvass?
Let's try it. Kvass means drink?
Yeah, it's a zero alcohol drink.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you can say it's tea before it becomes tea.
It's like fermented tea.
It tastes like beer, but not beer.
Yeah.
Like a malty beer,
Exactly.
malty.
Fake beer. There's like a lot of young people here. I imagine that they would all want to leave.
It depends. if they have an income source from outside of here,
Right.
they live very well.
The paradise land here.
It's a paradise land.
Yeah.
It's so cheap if you can find a way to make money.
Yeah. I'm digging it so far.
Yeah.
It's just like a normal place.
It's so peaceful. That's one of the first things people say is how peaceful it is.
Right.
I think from watching the Western news too much, they expect some kind of marching in the street with people with Stalin tattooed on their forehead or
Yeah.
something. And it's totally normal, calm, peaceful.
Yeah, it's totally peaceful, which is cool. How are you? Nice to meet you. I like your hair.
Class.
He's like, yeah, I know, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm definitely feeling there's like this hipster vibe going on with these kids.
With the teenagers.
The teenagers,
The
like,
teenagers.
We saw a girl with pink hair, like chains,
Yeah.
baggy pants.
It's a growing movement, but they're not exactly the same because there's no drug culture here.
Right.
So it's just the look here.
Right.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez on the background.
Deanna's pointing out all the Americanisms here. There was a Steve Jobs poster, got Selena Gomez. That's about it.
Yeah.
Not much more American things going on. Giant heads of Lenin are everywhere here, and this one's massive.
He has a big head.
It's huge. It's one of the biggest ones in the whole region. After the fall of the Soviet Union, a lot of the places tore down all the Lenin heads, but all of ours are intact. It's just the infrastructure is just like in the Soviet Union.
But that begs the question, who runs Transnistria?
We have our own parliament, and we have our own president, we have our own police force, we have our own army, we have our own border guards. But we are monopoly state. There's a mega corporation called Sheriff that anything large, they own it. You know, they're benevolent. They're not hurting anyone. They bring a lot of goods and services here. They're the largest employer of the place.
There's one man that owns Sheriff,
Well, it's more like a conglomerate,
Right.
but
but there's a guy, and no one knows where he is.
he owns his own island somewhere.
Are there protests? Are there people like, we don't
No.
like this? No, they don't care.
They have their opinions, but they're not strict about this. They're not going to feel insulted if you have a different opinion, and they're pretty much apathetic.
Unlike Americans.
Yeah, here they're very apathetic about politics because they realize they're the ones that are in control of their lives, not government.
Transnistria is so confusing that I'm still trying to dig deeper about what Tim just told me. What exactly is Sheriff? Well, in simple terms, it's the biggest company in Transnistria, started in 1993 by two ex-cops. And it runs almost everything: supermarkets, gas stations, a mobile network, TV channels, and even a soccer team. It's basically a monopoly that has deep ties to the government, making it hugely influential. For many, Sheriff is the ultimate symbol of corruption and control, shaping nearly every part of life in Transnistria. See, the supermarket here is called Sheriff. A big sheriff. Yeah, oh my god,
My
damn.
mom said even they say they're not going Russia.
We're in the Sheriff grocery store, and the way that they all dress with like the local outfits, it looks like Super Mario Brothers. Just got this ice cold bottle of vodka for $1.30. The cheapest vodka in the world. It's freezing cold, ice cold. Woo! Yeah, that's strong. That is strong. It's vodka. It's not water. We are now rolling up to a barge, which is basically a large, I guess you don't really call it a boat.
It's a giant piece of steel with pontoons underneath.
And that's how we're getting across.
Yeah, this dates back to World War II because in the old days they would have built pontoon bridges here and tanks would have crossed it. And actually on our river, the Dniester, there are old T-34s still on the bottom of the river. So most of the border is the river, but in this case, it's not. And so we can cross here without passports. These are the guys who run the barge. So
gotcha.
when they're not busy, they fish. Actually, they do more than fish. Sometimes we get on here and they're smashed on vodka.
Yeah.
This is cool because this old tree limb is the steering and braking mechanism for the barge. They carved it themselves.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the movement's caused by the inertia of the river.
That's steering.
But he's steering and braking with this.
Yeah, this guy's a legend, man.
Yeah.
So we are now in Tiraspol. We've barged our way in. Spasiba. Paka paka. Across the barge, I'm left thinking. In a place like Transnistria, it's easy to focus on war, Soviet history, and guys with big guns. But there's another side to this story, one that often goes unnoticed. The vital role of the babushka. In Russian, babushka means grandmother, but it can refer to any old lady who is charming and hospitable. I can't wait to bring Diana and her mom to meet some of these ladies and see how they keep their old traditions alive.
Доброе здоровечко, сколько у нас работ!
Здравствуйте. How are you? Как дела?
Потихоньку, потихоньку.
Thank you for having us here. Is she making wine? This is amazing. This is the toilet situation here in the village. Here we go. Wow, it's actually better than I thought it was going to be. What do you think about Transnistria?
It's abundant in natural crops.
How about the people?
Nice.
I just want to take a minute and appreciate how beautiful this village is. We're surrounded by grape trees, plum trees, apple trees, corn. They're so rich in natural resources and food. All right, we're gonna go hang out with the babushkas, or the grandmothers, as they say in Russian, and get their stories. Walnuts?
Yeah.
Берите орешки.
Taken walnuts.
Okay, I'll take a walnut while I ask you some questions. How do you open it?
Не могу.
Strength time. Thank you. Спасибо. What was it like growing up here? When you were younger, were there any struggles to living here in Soviet times?
Был коммунизм.
We lived in the communism, but we didn't see like communism, yeah? The prices was very low, like sausage cost 2 rubles and 20 kopecks.
2 rubles.
Yeah.
Like free sausages for everyone.
It was better in Soviet time.
Have you ever traveled outside?
Ездила с товаром. Не было.
She been all in Moscow and Minsk for all her life. The fruits for just for selling.
She never traveled there.
Never.
So she's never left Transnistria.
Never.
What do you wish that you have in your life that you don't have right now?
Ну, чтоб я могла что-нибудь детям, внукам помочь.
I want just a health and the God to give me more some times to live and to help kids.
There's a lot of wars happening really close to Transnistria. Is it something you think about? Does it affect your life at all?
И это беспокоит. Там грохают, там нас.
Well, she talking about like if
Не
some
дают покоя.
trainings and he can hear this, and of course she worrying about this. But
What do you think about the US?
У меня даже нет слов за Америку.
only bad.
Only bad. Okay. What's the key to living a long, happy, healthy life? Because you seem to be all of those things.
Приходят дети ко мне. Где-то для меня счастье это, что я
Only kids like they coming at me, visit me, and we working together, and I'm happy.
What do you think about Trump and Putin?
Путина незаменимый. Что я могу сказать за Трампа?
He's a leader, and he's a strong leader, and he help people and protect them. About Trump, well, she can say nothing because she said like he's in the United States and he doing business there. I mean,
You're very beautiful and hardworking and courageous, so thank you.
Делай, буду красивая.
now I will do makeup and.
Also, I like your teeth. They're beautiful.
Будьте здоровы.
She wants both of them to sit on her legs.
Может, пенечек выдержать.
She won't let us leave without giving us more things. She's so friendly. Спасибо.
Кушайте на здоровье.
She's so kind. This is the kind of place that you could stay for like days and days and days, and she's just gonna take care of you.
She wants to give a gift. Another one. You'll get tons of gifts here in the villages.
This is like the hospitality of the region.
Yeah.
And this is something that's overlooked by everyone.
Whatever they grow themselves in the village, you are welcome to it.
How is it? Nice?
Yeah. So sweet, juicy.
Babe, these are like the best grapes. There are seeds in it. Us spoiled Americans growing up never had seeds in grapes.
Wow. We can't eat all those. Look at all that.
Thank you.
Before we came here, my mom's first impression, thoughts. They're aggressive and they're dominant, but
It's Japanese changed to reality.
yeah. So she said that the reality, it's the opposite of what she thought.
Remember when we at the airport? You don't know where we're going?
She said Maldives.
Yeah. All right, Tim, there's not too many Americans walking this land.
No.
You've been here for 17 years. Give me the spark notes. How did you end up in Transnistria?
After a few years of living in Poland, I found out that Moldova had dropped their old Soviet visa standards. And I came here by myself, so I started working with tourists, and of course all local people said, no tourist will come here, that's silly, they don't want to see the Soviet stuff. And I told them that's exactly why they will come.
To be honest, this is the most fascinating slice of all of Europe.
Yeah.
You literally feel like as close as you can get to the actual Soviet Union. We're in the town center here of Tiraspol, the biggest city in Transnistria, the capital city and home of half the population. About 150,000 people live here. Over here is a Transnistria flag with a Russian flag. Russian flag's a little bit higher, and the rest are the regional flags of Transnistria, the provinces. And over here are the only 3 unrecognized countries that recognize this unrecognized country. That was a confusing sentence. You have South Ossetia and Abkhazia. There used to be Nagorno-Karabakh, but sadly that one doesn't exist anymore. 34, how many years of existence Transnistria has been in? I'm 33, so basically my whole life. They found this tank in the river recently. Since there are not many rules in Transnistria, I think we should climb it. Yeah. Oh man, this is so awesome. What's better than walking around Tiraspol? Standing on a tank overlooking Tiraspol.
It's the first time I've been in a tank.
What do you think?
It's so cool.
How do you feel about Transnistria?
Oh my god, it's amazing. So different.
Not many tourists, right?
No.
Everywhere you go in Transnistria, you see cars like this. It looks like they can be taken out of here and placed straight into a museum. And how much really would this cost a month, average?
Or like $150 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, if you rent, but like I said, most people don't rent only if they're a student from outside of Tiraspol. Most people, their family owns property outright, not the bank.
So all these people around us, they have cheap housing. What do the bills look like? How much do you pay every month?
Literally like a regular apartment, your bills are gonna be like $30 a month, and that includes internet, phone, gas and electric and water.
So
Like
that's
$30
like
a
$1 a day for all those things. You found a dog? Can I take a picture? What's your name?
Yes, it's
Linda.
Linda, what's up?
Drew.
I'll step back.
Don't take it sick.
Хорошо собака.
Oh. Oh.
He's telling her to set. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, I will
It's
not.
dangerous.
Oh wow.
So good.
Wow. Very disciplined.
That dog freaks me out, those teeth, man.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, thank you.
Спасибо.
She have 5 years.
Пока.
Okay, I saw. So
Пока.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Very nice people. It's actually quite nice this time of the year because the trees are changing colors. Fall, autumn has begun.
In the parks, when I was at home, when I went to a park or went for a walk, nobody. Zombieland. And here,
Look, the kids zooming around you, parents.
the parks and the sidewalks are full every night.
This is precisely why it's called Airplane Park. You have a World War II plane just in the park. After meeting some people on the streets of Tiraspol, Tim wants to introduce me to one of his friends who collects old Soviet cameras. I've had a lot of fun getting my photo taken on vintage cameras in places like Afghanistan, so I'm stoked to see what this guy is hiding behind closed doors.
It's cooler in there because you notice how thick these walls are. They're made from sod.
He made everything.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my bedroom.
Bedroom.
Yes, this is my guitar.
Good English.
И все, это я все посадил. Вон та зеленая стена тоже я посадил.
Can you tell him that he has the best eyebrows I've ever seen?
Что?
You have great eyebrows.
Like Lenin.
Я похож?
Yeah.
Да не, мне еще, я уже его пережил. Мне уже чуть-чуть больше. Это просто дрова.
Problem.
Whoa!
That's so.
That's way nicer than the babushkas toilet. All right.
Literally.
Орехи, лещина. Они уже созрели.
It's the time of year for
В
nuts.
машине погрызете. Не, не грызите, их надо разбивать.
Wow. Look.
Это крышка. Чтобы на зиму закрывать яму с водомером.
Fake rock.
Здесь мы разводим костер.
Biz Platinum didn't cost anything. Free.
Hopping around villages here just goes to show that anywhere you are in the world, when you get out of the cities and when you go into the rural places, people are so incredibly friendly. And that's really one of the morals of this story, is that people are happy here. They live normal lives There's all kind of crazy messed up politics going on both here and around the region, but at the end of the day, people are just people. They just have the same wants and needs as me and you, and they want to just enjoy their lives. And that's been a really reassuring thing to experience here in Transnistria. After traveling to every single country in the world and in Europe, I actually feel connection with this place.
В виде фотокамеры будет. Музей фотокинотехники.
Wow.
Вот это здание будет как вот фотокамера.
He wants to turn it into a giant museum.
Это все фотокинотехника. Пластины вот такие большие.
The quality will be much better than digital.
What the?
Oh, so big.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Why does he have that? Smile.
Мы смотримся.
That was the most random thing he possibly could have pulled out.
Когда вырастет,
Daughter like all these toys.
найдет богатого человека, и вот здесь второй музей будет мышей.
Now it goes back in the bag. Back in the bag. Oh, what's in the
More
box?
stuff.
Oh.
Фотокинотехника.
Look at all this old stuff.
Что-нибудь интересное.
Oh my god, yeah, that's in a lot of movies.
A lot of the old school independent directors, they started their careers using this old 8mm film.
Wow, that's so cool.
Это иностранные. Ну вот это где-то, наверное, в 50-е годы. Конец, может быть, 40-х.
1950s projector. What I'm surprised
Ну, не
by is
всё,
how
а очень
small
много.
it is for
Yeah,
1950s.
tiny. I'm just thinking that-
Very small.
Главное, я нашел.
Wow.
100-year-old projector.
Такое, оно все простейшее было тогда.
Wow.
Polaroid. Oh wow.
That is one of the first Polaroid cameras ever made. Wow. Problem with all these old cameras is you can't find the film for them,
The battery.
and also the battery. You can't find the battery. Somehow he got his hands on an old American photo booth here in Transnistria. I have no idea how this happened.
You'd be surprised what you can find out here.
Yeah.
Можете
He wants to say,
Если сломается и не нужна будет, дайте мне.
tourist come.
What is the best and the worst part about living in Transnistria?
Чернозем. Знаете, что такое чернозем? Это маслины.
Yeah, he said like it's a black soil and everything green. I mean, you can grow everything here and
That's what he likes.
yeah.
Is there anything you don't like about living here?
Нет, дело не в том, что мне не нравится жить в машинах.
We need to change people that's in government and will be everything perfect.
Spasiba. We made it to a cool hip part of Tiraspol. Cafes, bars. You like it here?
So cool.
We were just talking about how chill it is here. It's just like a cool place. I don't know how to explain it. Everyone's just hanging out. Before this trip, you don't know anything. What do you think now?
Before I have the awkward
And now?
description. Now it changed.
You have a different thought.
Vanish away the awkward description.
You come in with one perception of how a place is, and then you realize that, wow, it's actually like really cool. Here's the thing about Transnistria. It might not be recognized by the world, but its story is impossible to ignore. From the Soviet flags to the war-torn bunkers to the babushkas still holding on to their traditions, this place truly is a time capsule. But despite being trapped in political limbo, the people here have found a way to live, to remember, and to make the most of what they've got. At the end of the day, it's the uniquely Eastern European spirit that defines Transnistria. So even though only a few hundred people get to visit each year, what I've learned is that it's often the most forgotten places that have the most to teach us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.